Don't touch your phone.
I'll go next with a story that broke the news this week, if that's all right.
Yeah, break that news.
Excellent. Well, I didn't break it. Popular Mechanics did. So students at a university proved paradox-free time travel is possible.
Oh, yeah. I read about this.
So we can all go back to something.
1994.
Don't like it still.
Come on, let's go back to 94. We can vote for Clinton and then be let down by him. We can wear Bermuda shorts.
In 1994, Clinton would have been in office for 2 years.
Well, we can vote for him a second time then.
All right.
Because
You're talking about keeping Pelosi.
9. We'll go back to 1994.
Anyway.
We'll wear Bermuda shorts. We'll grow up again. We'll get it right this time. This is one of those. I did read this story and I was like, whoa, how did he do it? Did he, himself come back?
Do you want to try and read the paper?
Did a hot version of himself come back and kiss him? And it wasn't anything like that. It's very
It's a
very
thought piece.
It's very math based.
Yes.
Time travel.
In a new peer-reviewed paper, senior honors undergraduate said he mathematically proven the physical feasibility of a specific kind of time travel.
The boring kind.
University of Queensland student Jermaine Tabar, who the university press release calls prodigious, worked on UQ physics professor Fabio Costa, or worked with that professor on this paper. In the paper called Reversible Dynamics with Closed Time-like Curves and Freedom of Choice, the two said they found a middle ground in mathematics that solves a major logical paradox in one model of time travel.
All right, so we have actually found that Popular Mechanics has a slider.
Yeah,
Like
see?
TV slider.
Everybody needs a slider on staff, I'm telling you.
Yes, they have a full TV slider. He chose to remain in our universe to help us deal and help slide like his universe can. So the math itself is very complex, as I'm sure everyone can guess. This thought, though, comes from Albert Einstein.
Do some of the math. Say
All right,
some of
quickly,
the numbers.
to the paper.
Well,
Open a
how
new
many
tab.
how many times is C squared?
Are we ready for the abstract?
Say part of the math.
Part of the math?
Yeah.
All right, let me get down to the math.
Okay, he's scrolling. Oh, this is riveting podcasting.
All right, ready? This is from
Dr. Frankenstein.
the section, the process function.
Uh-huh.
It is 2.1 of the paper, and it goes, we will use the notation A_/I equals A1
my nose is
times
bleeding.
dot
Nope, please.
X
stop.
A_I minus 1 times A_I
That's
plus
enough.
1.
That's enough of the math. Stop.
I didn't even get to when they start using B.
I'm covered in blood. My nose is gushing blood.
Well, we tried for it, but needless to say, I think we should trust this university students' math. I mean, people are definitely checking it.
You guys, I just hearing that I think I'm 13.
I get it. If A, then B, you can go back to C.
Now, this school of time travel, if you will, is what Albert Einstein first theorized. And in the paper, Costa illustrates the science with an analogy. He says, or wrote, say you time travel in time in an attempt to stop COVID-19's patient 0 from being exposed to the virus.
Hold on, that's what they're doing?
Yeah,
They're
that's how they got the grant paper to write the
patient
paper.
0? That was the one thing out of history that they picked.
Listen,
not that it's not horrible, but
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Can you imagine all the time travel papers that before 2019 were like Now, let's say you time travel to kill Hitler.
Yeah.
And now forever, time travel will be you go back in time to stop COVID-19.
Yeah, I mean, we're entering a new era of time travel jokes. Now people will say you go back to stop COVID-19 instead of kill Hitler. When it's when it becomes paradoxical temporal tourism, when people are going back in time because they purchased a ticket, you don't think that the line to kill Hitler is fucking around the block?
No, of course, everybody wants to kill Hitler.
That's why no one.
We need something like
Well,
this.
that's why you don't go to the kill Hitler line. You go to the vaudeville prank Hitler line. Like you
that is
a pin on a seat that he's in, just in the middle of nowhere.
okay.
Like right before he burns down the Reichstag, you pin his ass, and then you go and do it to Genghis Khan. You go and do like all across.
Just go
history.
Don't kill the bad people in history, because then some other bastard will rise up. We won't even know about.
Well,
them.
that's kind of what they're talking about.
But if you take that person and make their life just a cascading series of vaudevillian pranks, and to the point where nobody can make them can take them seriously. Oh yeah, you're going to vote for Hitler, the guy who sat in a pie last week at the socialism meeting? I heard that he went to France to meet a dignitary and he fell. The sidecar came off of the motorcycle he was riding with and went down the stairs into a fish tank, and he had to fight an octopus. Who does that?
But that kind of is
back
the
in
paradox
time
they're trying to
become
fix.
the mime that stands behind every dictator.
But none of that matters overall.
The throne.
Because in that time travel, if that happened, it then eliminates the motivation for you to even go back, stopping you from going back.
Right. I have
But mathematically, to fix this paradox, so that's not the paradox right now.
Oh, okay.
What happens, say you go back in time, and with our Hitler plan, he sits on the pie, or right? That was what you guys were saying?
He sits on a pie. Works. Maybe the pie is filled with pins. We have
yes. It's hilarious. He jumps. The German community laughs.
Everyone
it brings
saw.
Him down
Everyone was there.
But then, because of the butterfly effect, a number of other weird things, he still becomes chancellor because, let's say that act, which while humiliating him, made him more endearing for some reason.
It does kind of make Charlie Chaplin's version look bad.
Ah, interesting.
Or in the COVID-19 example, in the COVID-19 example, you trap the patient zero in a perfectly hermetic or sealed cage, and the virus is in there, but then accidentally, because of how contagious it is, you're now patient zero.
So you trap yourself.
But then, to help build it, it got out somewhere else. It's always going to escape somehow. You can't change the time. It'll always kind of need to happen.
You guys
no matter what, you are Ashton Kutcher.
You ever think about what if okay, let's say this morning until around 11:30.
Okay.
President John F. Kennedy had lived a full life and was a great president and was never shot, allegedly by that guy. What's that guy's name?
William
What can I think of it?
His name is
Booth.
Several Marksman.
What is his name? Damn it.
Oh, its name was
Oh, you guys don't know either. Okay.
No, we know his name.
We all know his name. It's Lee Harvey Oswald. Allegedly shot that man. Anyway, let's say until around 11:30 this morning, that never happened.
Sure.
And then at 11:15, a man named Lee Harvey Oswald, who thought that JFK was the beginning of all the wrong things in America, found a time machine. And he went back in time and he shot JFK. And as of 11:30 today, that was always our history. Does that make
alive.
sense to you guys? No, that he was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yes, it makes sense.
It's the thing is, history could constantly be changing.
And
it's just that all history that follows it will have fallen in line since then. Let's say same of
But
Abraham
that's not what
Lincoln.
this paper says, but go on, because this is a fun thought.
This is something that I've often thought of. Same thing with Abraham Lincoln. Let's say that, John Wilkes Booth, until late last night, Lincoln lived to an old age and retired in Kennebunkport, and there's a famous picture of him with a giant fish,
Sure.
Right. But you're also supposing that the people that are traveling back in time to commit these new acts are, like, it is a thing of their time. Like, they have to be close to it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Are they being moved by outside forces potentially? Like,
no,
like,
I mean,
is John Wilkes Booth getting an alien influence or something to send him back in time?
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't matter what his influence is. He goes back in time.
That's a good point. Let's say that Nate makes a good point. Let's say that one John Wilkes Booth maybe it wasn't John Wilkes Booth. Maybe that guy failed.
Sure.
Or maybe until this morning, the name of the guy who killed Lincoln was Frank Wilkes Bridge.
Yes.
But then that guy failed, and the aliens or whomever sent another guy, and it was like, okay, now it's that guy. Maybe it's changing all the time. We would never know, because it would have always been our history.
That's fair. That's fair.
It has to be something that they want to change that is directly affecting them. So they have to be of that time.
Do they, though?
So, like John Wilkes Booth wouldn't go forward in the future to kill Kennedy because he doesn't know shit about it. He just knows that he hates Abraham Lincoln.
Sure, okay.
Here's the thing about all that. The math says this. Mathematical symbol that looks like a butt hanging down with three equal signs next to it.
Yes, the time sign.
Yes.
Yes, the historical time butt.
Bracket or fancy bracket with the same symbol, sub 1, ...
You can say time butt.
Time butt, sub n bracket, is to D always turning into A.
Okay.
And what that means is that the timeline is relatively fixed. So let's say you want to go back in time and kill Hitler because that was the worst thing.
Sure.
You killed Hitler.
Now you become him.
The timeline doesn't change, but someone else takes up the mantle, like one of his doubles is now Hitler, and that's what's happened. Like, the world still thinks it's Hitler, but Hitler's still there.
You've inadvertently released Mecha Hitler.
But that also means that, like, again, the line around the corner for people traveling back in time to kill Hitler is long.
It's long, but it doesn't change.
But that means every Hitler, the Hitler we know, is maybe the 10 millionth Hitler.
God.
He's been stopped so many times. Everyone wants to go back in time.
Anyway, welcome to all our
Hitler.
Welcome to all our new Hitler listeners who just searched the word Hitler. Just make it known that we don't agree with you and we stand against everything you do.
Yeah, we chose Hitler as a person to kill for a reason.
Maybe we could go back and change Hitler, huh?
No, because even that changing Hitler wouldn't matter because he still does all the things he does. Like, history is fixed. D always becomes A.
He's got us. He's got us in a real looper sitch here.
It's called, or where is it? Closed time-like curves.
Closed time-like curves. Okay, well, I love my curvy timeline, so.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's quantum findings from Los Alamos that help with this math.
Okay.
Until someone proves all of this time butt math not correct, this is what we use for science.
Okay, so you heard it here first, time travelers. Fucking go nuts, dogs.
Go nuts. Go back in time. Have fun doing whatever because it doesn't change nothing.
Fucking smash butterflies. Ride a fucking longboard down the pyramids.
That was also one thought that I read in a comment to where, like, you could stop whatever killed the dinosaurs, like the smoke, the asteroid, whatever, like it's weird environmental stuff. You stop it, but still the
Something
dinosaurs
else
have to die.
would
And
kill
then
the
one person quoted,
dinosaurs.
"It's because they discovered guns and gun violence did it."
The dinosaurs will die.
Excellent.
I like to think about Dino Planet sometimes. What it would be like.
That ending of Chrono Trigger where it's all Dino Planet.
Hell
And you
yeah.
have to go to the Dino Festival.
I like to think about all of like what society would look like if the little skinny dinosaurs, the Compsognathus, had become the dominant thinking species on the planet. Would we be living in mud huts? Would we be?
I think we'd be living in the same. Like I've seen, we'd be slower. I think more
We'd
sedentary.
definitely be eating a lot of bugs and small lizards.
I think so. Like a bug patty, like still like bipedal and stuff. It would be like more. It would be different proteins.
Interesting. Sure.
No, wouldn't it be the same proteins?
Well, I mean, it's animal protein, but it's not like a cow. It's something like insects, stuff that reptiles eat.
Yeah, reptile stuff.
Children.
I like to think of the Vegantopia where we have to hunt down and spear giant almond monsters.
Yeah, sure.
It's sad that we're stuck in this human timeline. You can't go back and create that fun one we just did.
No, who says you can't? Time travelers, get out there.
I don't know the time butt math, man.
Time butt.
And I think that's what's going to be my segment name. It's going to go by the title of Time Butt always equals D greater than A.
I have a punch up for that one.
Hit it.
Enter the Time Butt.
Enter the Time Butt.
With Roger Norquist.
How
about gaze into the Time Butt?
All right, we reached it. Gaze into the Time Butt with Roger Norquist.
Nice. Gaze into the Time Butt.
Nate,
see what you can see.
Take us away
the old
to the
brown
ending.
cyclone of time.
Gaze into the Time Butt. Will you find fortune or fame?
Should we on our Twitter just tweet out to that story and be like, "We checked the math. This is wrong."
You forgot to carry a one.
We should for sure tell Popular Mechanics they're full of shit.
I think we could get away with tweeting "gaze into the Time Butt" at them.
Oh, well, that's for later.
Why is it for later? It's time travel.
Wow. Honestly, I mean, that's a good question. This is the problem when you start talking about time travel.
I just want to go on record and say that I did travel back in time in some cases the Time Butt first.
Was that you?
It was you, but I took it from you after I killed you in the other timeline.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem with the Time Butt. What if it falls into the wrong hands?
Yeah. And mine are the wrong hands, trust me.
Truth.
Anyway, here's New-ferato.
Yay! All right. We're back. Time vamps.
I call it party time. In the way back, we did talk about the Krsnik during the Strigoi and sort of glossed over it. This is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer sort of character that shows up there.
Oh, it's like the Slayer, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
the Chosen Ones. I remember.
Chosen One. Love a Chosen One. Hey, have you guys also heard the thing about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, R.I.P., how like she died on Yom Kippur, and
she died the night before
Rosh
Yom
Hashanah.
Kippur.
Rosh Hashanah, right?
Yeah. She died the night before Yom Kippur, I thought, which is like makes you one of like the most spiritual beings you can be.
Add us Jewish listeners,
please.
And Yeah, it makes you into like a super justice being.
Like
In-
she transcended everything and is now judging things in the afterlife for the better good.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like it's not Dybbuk, but it sounds like
It's
that.
not
It's like
Dybbuk,
it's
she's
the
not
opposite.
trapped
No,
in a box.
it's like the opposite of a Dybbuk. It's like a righteous spirit. It's like, remember how people could become possessed by righteous spirits, which was a rare case of a good possession we were
Yep.
talking about? Kind of
Yeah.
that sort of thing. It's like a Sizik, I think. Something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
something like that. Once again, Jewish listeners, add us.
Add us.
And add us.
Add us.
Oh, Werewolf Radar on Twitter. Sorry, that yes, add us there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is the story of the Krsniks. Or Krsnik or Krsnik, depending on where you are from.
Mm-hmm.
We're from
Either
America.
way. Okay, well, you're going to go Krsnik then.
Either way, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Yep. Either way, all of these people are magical shamans using beast men to destroy the undead.
Fuck yeah! What?
Yeah, that's right.
So like a pet class, but they have like werewolves, like a werewolf whisperer.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
We'll get into it. They,
Yes. Why is that not a class in Hunt Showdown? If you're
True.
listening, developers of that game, put it in there. I want to play that.
they specifically developed to fight a vampire called the Kudlak or the Valkudlak.
Oh, I know about that one.
Yeah, the Kudlak, this is from the Encyclopedia of Vampires and Werewolves and something else, is a Slavic vampire.
Wait, come on. Vampires and werewolves and something. What's the third
And
thing?
something else.
And
I couldn't
naval
remember the end of the
ships.
title.
Oh, okay. Vampires and werewolves and United States government contracts.
Yes, vampires and werewolves and the
Saddle,
13th Amendment.
saddle making.
This is a Slavic vampire active during both life and death.
Mm-hmm.
So this grave springer can just be a possessed individual, or a person that comes out of the
That's
grave.
kind of frightening. Like that's quite the beast.
Yeah, well, I mean, tell me a vampire that isn't active in both life and death. That's their thing. That's the troublesome property about them.
I kind of feel like they're mostly dudes who are not active in their life, and that's why they come back.
Oh no, that would be such a bummer because I am an inactive dude. And if I died and was like, oh, nice. And then I came back, I'd be like, oh man,
Oh,
now I gotta kill a bunch of people.
You're definitely, well, you don't have to kill a bunch of people, you just have to murder them on Twitter.
I do. I'm thirsty, dude. Dog. We can't hear Roger.
That's because I'm muted. Sorry.
He's muted.
But you do enough. I think that's like for like extremely lazy people that like don't go to work. Like you work a bunch, buddy.
Yeah, none of us work. Well, you work a bunch.
Jordan works a bunch.
It's nice
you work a bunch.
It's nice of you to say, but I don't think developing a language based entirely on blinks is working.
Well, I see the work being put in, and I wouldn't judge you a vampire in the afterlife.
Thank you, Roger. Or should I say?
I assume that means you're in love with me, and I do not reciprocate that.
I was blinking into the microphone. Yes. Shit. The boathouse was the place.
It was.
I should have said it in the boathouse. Anyway, please carry on.
Yeah. Anyway, the term Kudlak is likely shortened from Vogudlak, which I mentioned, which is ostensibly different, but there is the same type of vampire. It's like the Gabagool to your Gabagool.
Sure. And it's a particularly nasty one, if I recall correctly. Not that there are any really good ones.
Well, no, they're just walking around shitheads mostly, and then they die, and then everyone else thinks, I think this guy might be coming out of the grave to do stupid, shitty things
to do
to us.
more shithead
Gotcha.
things.
Yeah.
Shithead in
Yeah.
life, shithead in the afterlife.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
rises from the grave to like take handicap parking spots at King Supers and shit.
Dude,
Pretty
fuck
much.
him.
Fucking dick, dude.
And that's why to every generation is born a Krsnik.
A slayer who will slay the assholes who
An
rise up.
anti-shitty dude.
An anti-shitty dude.
So the Kudlak will assume the shape of an animal, most frequently an ox, horse, or pig, but also sometimes a dog, horse, bull, or bear,
Cool.
to go do their ridiculous, I guess, putting upon people. It doesn't seem like they do a lot of killing.
Because you have to kill a vampire, else it starts killing the entire village.
Well, no, this is the vampire. They just go about being different animals, fucking with people.
Yeah. A pig seems like a very silly thing for a vampire. A silly form for a vampire to don, you know? Giant spider, sure. Swarm of rats, scary. Pig's loose in the den. That's fun almost.
I think they mean
You know?
more like a hog, something like the monster from Lord of the Flies, you know?
Like a snorting.
But they also become dogs. Like, it's things that you would normally allow around your children.
Just like a little adorable corgi with a widow's peak and like little fangs.
I used to be your husband.
Yep. I want to drink the blood. I love it.
The Kudlak can be a living person who's under the influence of an evil spirit, so it's also a possession situation.
Okay.
And they can rid themselves of the possession by confessing their sins. However, after they die, they're most troublesome.
Okay.
I guess that's when they start becoming dogs and pigs and
right. That's the phase.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They were
phase 2.
Anyone who did die who was suspected to be a Kudlak, they would cut the tendons underneath their knees to stop them from walking around.
Okay.
You got to, or else you have a vampire bear rummaging through your trash.
It makes sense, I guess. It's just, ow.
Yeah.
No,
So
not my knees, is what the kid would say.
Or they would get, pulled up and staked with hawthorn.
Sure.
Which goes back to the Strigoi thing. It's a very specific kind of killing.
Yeah, a hawthorn bush planted through your heart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Krsnik, they were apparently supposed to come up with every tribe, one unto one, to stop them, to cut those tendons. This is from Deities Daily. They were not vampire hunters in the traditional sense, armed to the teeth with various weapons and items said to keep the creatures at bay, but rather shamans, whose spirits would wander from their bodies at night, manifesting in the form of an animal, always white in color. Krsniks also aided the community in ensuring good harvest, happiness, and health. And they could also bring cows back to life.
Sweet.
Oh, by the way, cows back to life.
And you know what? While we're giving out powers, here, you can bring cows back to life.
No other animal. Have fun.
What about like an ox? No, it's not really a cow, is it?
It's really more of an ox, or else you would have said cow.
Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
These powerful shamans would do battle against the evil Kudlaks, vampires that sought to bring harm to the community and its people, wreaking havoc as they flew through the air.
Yeah.
So the Kudlaks could fly.
Yeah, but is like that in horse form or pig form? Just.
I assume it's all shamanic spirit flight.
Oh wait, this is the good guy? No, this is the bad guy.
No, well, this is both of them.
Oh, so this is
okay.
an aerial combat.
Sure, between spirit boar and white spirit stag or something.
Yes, white stag versus black stag, and one of them is a monster whose knees have been cut off and rose from the grave.
Yeah.
While a guy who's asleep fights them
Now
by dreaming that he's also a stag.
He's a dream
Wow.
warrior. That's fucking cool. He also, what's the point of cutting their tendons if they're just gonna like Jedi fight people?
Well, they don't seem to be really like, they're not like bloodsuckers. I think they do occasionally commit murders, but the Cudlax seems to just walk around and be a nuisance.
Okay. Just like kind of wreck up the place, like spill your change around when you're sleeping, tie your shoelaces together.
Putting a slice of ham and somebody's shoes and like putting somebody's shoes like into somebody else's shoes.
Just real annoying stuff.
I mean, they definitely do like eat children and babies.
It's not just
and then also eat children and babies.
If you catch them doing the shoe prank, they're like, now I have to eat you. I was gonna leave. You shouldn't have caught me.
Unless, of course, there's a dreaming Krsnik nearby, and then they turn into some sort of white boar that flies into the room and
truly. Could you imagine being
battles them for their soul?
Confronted by this crazy like celestial demon bear, like oozing shadow and blood and fire burning in its eyes, and then all of a sudden just like a stag comes crashing through your living room window and fights it off.
Could you imagine?
Like, what the fuck just happened, man?
Could you imagine?
I was just getting a glass of water.
Could you imagine having a Krsnik come up to you and explain to you that your village has a energy vampire flying around it at night that you can't see, and he's the only one that can stop it, and the only way he can stop it is by sleeping?
I need to go to sleep in like a big bed, like a really big, good bed.
They call him Vampire Hunter CBD.
And like I sometimes I have trouble if I have not eaten like a big feast first. So bring me lots of feast, and then I go to sleep. And when I wake up, you will pay me, and I will leave, and fortune will be yours.
It's kind of like a snake oilman,
Convenient. Yeah, what a racket. Yeah.
That being
I'm gonna need to see some proof if you're a slayer.
That being said, I am very afraid of Freddy Krueger, and I do believe that there are some entities that can only be defeated in the dream realm.
Well, you're in luck, because I don't tell a lot of people this, am an anti-Krueger. I was told when I was very young, I trained in the ways of saving you from Freddy Krueger. I'm a Krsnik. I can make sure that you're safe for, let's say, $500 a week for the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life, huh?
I mean, it's that, or you know what he does.
Yeah, the nightmares, they do make my ears bleed.
The kind of things the ears bleeds is the tip of the iceberg. I saw him lawnmower up Johnny Depp. You want to end up like Johnny Depp?
I don't. I want to be safe.
Nobody
Here's your
does.
500.
Yeah.
Sleep in my bed tonight. I'm kicking out Kylie. Kylie, I don't know how I'm explaining it to you, but get ready for this explanation.
Both of you stand outside the door and make sure nobody comes in. Especially not Freddy Krueger.
I do like that professional. Like, that's one hell of a job, to where like you're sleep battling. I can only imagine the training, if this is real,
Truly.
which I know it is.
A lot of naps. Yeah. I'm training. Go away. Yeah. This is an ice cold scam.
When it comes to training, however, there are 2 ways that a Krsnik can actually learn their magic.
Oh, I'm so glad
and
you know
one-
about their training. Go on.
One is from the Vile, who are a fey creature.
Ooh.
Among the southern Slavs, Vile are portrayed as beautiful women with long blonde hair. There's 3 kinds living on land and in forests: water nymphs and cloud or air nymphs.
Oh, okay. That's 4 kinds, but
They appear
that's
as
okay.
swans, falcons, horses, wolves. Cloud nymphs appear as a whirlwind. At night they roam, and the clouds emit a terrible noise of pipes and drums.
It's like a bad
It-
ska band.
Vile poppin' daddies.
Did you hear that? Oh, we're gonna be okay.
Anyone who calls them becomes stiff and moves only with the difficulty, and is stricken by disease and dies within a year or 2.
What are these now?
These are the Vile.
And they, who are they with regards to our
sometimes these
one?
sometimes these weird fey creatures will teach a person who's born with a white caul over their face that's chopped off.
Yeah.
They will teach them to become a Krsnik because they know that a Kudlak will be born in the same tribe, and they have to fight them in the future.
Interesting.
But what if you're wrong? You just die in a year.
You know, I could be mistaken, but I think I was born with one of those things over my faces. No joke. I'll ask my mom about that.
Wait.
You're absolutely positively a Krsnik.
Oh no. I shouldn't write checks that my ass can't cash.
No,
now I have to protect Roger and his dreams every week for the rest of my life.
Dreams, man. That spider is getting bigger and bigger.
Oh God,
yeah,
I'm not
Roger's
crazy about spiders
Kudlak.
either. Oh my God, they never.
Roger, you'll like this.
Okay.
The Vile like to ride horses and stags and go hunting and dance in a circle dance.
Just like you.
I do enjoy that.
You love to mosh.
It's just that moshing brings us together as a coven. I mean, community.
Dude, I think it's crazy that a Krsnik and a Krodverlock came together in these crazy times and built a podcast empire together. I'm upgrading us to an empire.
I'll take that mantle. If I am a vampire, I'm a Kudlak.
Vodkolak?
Vodkolak or Kolak?
I'm a Kolak. That's my choice.
Yeah, the Vile or the Fae.
Sure. And what was the other way that they can learn the magic sauce?
Oh, they can naturally go to the black magic sorcery of the Babylonian church.
Sure.
Oh, you can go to an institution. You can go to an institution like some book nerd.
Yeah, or you can go walk into the woods and start eating mushrooms until a fairy teaches you spells. Yeah.
It's one of the two.
And hopefully you live through the crucible. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a cool profession.
I feel like I just like it is a cool profession, but you know how many people died? Just, you know how many people died trying to be shamans? Just like, what if I ate this? Oh, you die? Okay, we'll try another one.
We'll try another one. Next shaman, you're up.
Yeah, next shaman. What if you ate that? Yeah, he's dead as well.
Yeah, well, as long as you keep telling people that it's from some sort of fairy magic,
sure,
you can just let them die, and it's for a good cause.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty cool. The Krsnik, huh? Is there anything else we should know about the Krsnik?
Not really. I mean, I think you've pretty got it handily down. It's a bunch of weird hippies who said they could kill a vampire because a bunch of people felt weird.
It's kind of a psychic Belmont, you know? I like it. I like the idea.
100% it's a psychic Belmont.
Oh, yeah.
I like the idea of being a bit of a... remember Bran in Game of Thrones, how he could go into other animals and stuff? But doing that to fight vampires. You know, we might be on to a graphic novel here, boys.
All right. That seals the deal. We're graphic novel boys now.
The Krsnik of Philadelphia, and it's just it's me. And when I sleep, I inhabit a goose, and I send him for chips, and he comes back.
And then a vampire appears.
But like, I don't tell anyone because I don't want to fight it. I'm just like, I didn't see any today.
I mean, I would probably do the same thing, man. Chips
Hell
are
yeah.
good.
Chips are good. Chips are good. That does it for this episode of Werewolf Radar. Loyal Pingos, thank you so much for your continued listenership. Dark Council, our Patreon tier members, thank you so much for your continued
Let's do a shout out for them.
And your your dark chants and all of the magic that you weave across the internet in order to sustain the masquerade.
Indeed. Shall we get the howl machine rolling for the patron shout out?
Let's howl it out, baby.
Excellent. Ryan Flint.
Yow.
Dylan Gutierrez.
Ow.
Our new patron, Hannah Taylor.
Ow. Yow. Yow.
Twerk Serpent.
Ow.
Kyle Bertman. Abby Klaboo.
Ow.
Jason Sweet.
Ow.
Tobias Livingston.
Wow.
Alicia Coy.
Wow.
Nolan Lewis.
Wow.
Adam Passion.
Wow.
The most
Wow.
well-prepared dead guy.
Yeah.
A Carrion Soldier.
Yeah.
Richard Carter. Liam
Wow.
Dole. Jason
Yeah.
Sweet, number 2.
Yeah.
Jake Speck. Adrian Henkel. And
Yeah.
the Chancellor of Madness,
Yeah.
Michael Przak.
Yow!
That list is getting longer, people.
It's getting longer and
harder
longer.
to say.
And I'll tell you what, it's I feel like I'm really falling into the howl groove. I know who the howler is now. He's kind of a half wolf man, like, I'm the howler. Yow! Yeah! Ow! That's how he howls,
Yep. And if you want to become a patron like these guys who support the show, they let us run stuff the way we want. That way we don't have to get weird sponsors that make us sell out to Big Coffee. Oh,
Yeah.
Also, by the way, that's who I assume we sell out to.
We don't have to sell out to anybody because Monstroco makes coffee,
Hell yeah,
It'll
good.
keep
Dark
you awake
coffee.
forever.
As dark as a monster's eye.
It'll keep you awake after you die. You'll still be
But
going to work.
If
for
you want to
weeks.
become a patron, visit our Patreon over at patreon.com/Werewolf Radar.
And if you want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, follow us at Werewolf Radar. Are we Werewolf Radar Pod?
We're Werewolf Radar Podcast on
yeah.
Instagram.
Find us on Instagram. Find us on Twitter. You'll know us when you see us. Look for our sign. It's usually a picture of Bigfoot, possibly with his genitals blurred out. Anyway, thank you for listening. Until next time, as always, punch the stars!